I created a new account on Blox Fruits to see just how far I could go and how much progress I can make before my mental health starts declining and I'm forced to stop. The goal of this video is to experience everything in the game from leveling up to PvP to trading and anything you can basically think of. I am allowed to spend Robux to a certain extent, like buying simple game passes, not for permanent fruits or anything that helps me too much to maintain the mostly free to-play experience. I started recording this video back in March of 2024, so a lot of new stuff you see now wasn't in the game back then, just so you aren't confused. To do all of this, I must first level up enough to go to the 2nd and 3rd sea. First, I need to get out of the starter island, so I killed some bandits until I was level 10. Just a side note from the editor me here. This video can be used as a kind of progression guide, so if you're new to the game in 1st or 2nd sea, you can use this video as a guide. Before I left the starter island, I purchased the cutlass for my first weapon. Now let's go to the jungle. Look at this big fat ugly gorilla guy, he definitely gets no hugs. Now that I have leveled up a decent amount, I need to obtain a better weapon. My destination for this task would be the pirate village. I upgraded my cutlass into the dual katanas from the sword dealer of the west. My next goal would be to reach level 50 and roll a fruit. After a few minutes killing pirates and brutes, I reached level 50. Time to roll my first fruit, now that I'm level 50. I got sand. The Logia effect will be really helpful for grinding, as I'm mainly a sword user, so we should definitely eat it. I killed Bobby a couple of times, and got a lot of levels and money from it. I then reached level 90, so that meant we could go to the snow island and get abilities. I can also upgrade my dual katana at the snow island. I bought the triple katana from the sword dealer of the east. Now that I have the combo of triple katana plus Logia effect from sand, I can level up swiftly. I got code drop from Vice Admiral. If you are around my level in the video right now, the code drop is a great early game accessory that is easy to obtain and very helpful for all sorts of things. It's mainly focused on the melee stat, giving 200 energy and 10% more melee damage. The 2-hour cooldown to roll a fruit is over, so this means I can roll another fruit and hopefully get something better than sand. I got dark. Dark is an upgrade from sand, so I will probably eat it later. I'm now server hopping the prison bosses, which give more levels than the NPCs at Coliseum that are after prison. This means I will skip straight to Magma Village. However, I need to kill Walmart Doflamingo a few times before going to Magma Village. I got bored of using swords, so I reset my stats and went fruit main with Dark. Honestly, looking back at it, this was a dumb decision because Dark does no damage. I had a decent amount of money at this point, so I decided to switch my fighting style to Dark Step, mainly to grind for full body aura but also to get a step closer to Godhuman. Since Dark does no damage, I switched to melee main to level up faster. I also finally bought Flash Step at Magma Village. I quickly went through the quests of Magma Village and Underwater City. I then did the quest for Observation Hockey, which requires level 300 plus, but I didn't do it earlier. First, I need to press all the green buttons in jungle. Now I need to take this torch to desert. And give this cup with water to the sick man. After talking to the sick man's son at Pirate Village, I killed the mob leader to return his money for an ancient relic. Now I just need to go back to jungle and put the relic in this hole. Then I easily killed Shanks inside of the hole for his sword, and I was now considered strong enough to learn Observation Hockey at Upper Sky Islands. With that done, I can now get Observation Hockey from the Instinct teacher. These peasants now can't even touch me. Now it will be easier to level up. Upper Sky was easy because the enemies didn't have aura and couldn't hit me because I'm using a Logia fruit. At level 625, I was now at the final island of the first sea, the Fountain City. I then reached level 700. I can now go to the 2nd sea and, most importantly, unlock trading. But first I had to talk to the military detective located at prison and defeat the Ice Admiral. I then talked to the military detective again and he said I could go to the second sea if I talked to the captain at Middletown. Now that I'm in the second sea, my next goal would be to trade for a grinding fruit, specifically Buddha. Buddha is very valuable specifically because of how good it is for grinding, so I need to stack up on fruits through rolling them through the Blox Fruits gacha, or dealer cousin. I rolled 2 times and I got a smoke and falcon. Pretty unlucky but enough to start trying to trade up. A strategy for early traders would be to switch between servers and try to find fruits on the ground. After a while of server hopping, I found this on the floor. It was a dark fruit. Dark is way more valuable than smoke or falcon, so this was more than enough to start. Eventually I found this trade for flame with my falcon. Falcon is pretty worthless and flame was a decent logia fruit, so this was a huge upgrade. I also upgraded my sand along with some common fruits to a barrier. Found this rubber on the floor. The kind soul also dropped me his light that he just rolled for free. Light is a really good grinding fruit, so this will be easy to upgrade into a way better fruit. Proving my point, I easily traded light and rubber for the best fruit for sea events, magma. Magma is easily overvalued, so this will be easy to upgrade into our first legendary fruit. Also made this downgrade to a ice from my dark, but still a W. Like I said earlier, magma is easily tradable into legendaries, so I upgraded it to a spider fruit. Shortly after, I rolled a dark fruit. Decent ad for some trades. Got this big W for a light fruit with a flame and some bad fruits. Also got a decent upgrade from light to a quake. Although quake is a legendary, it doesn't have the best demand, so even if this seems really good, it's only a small W on my part. Right after I upgraded that quake to a love. All of these trades were done by the same guy, so he knows he is taking AL, he's just being nice to a new player. Got this small upgrade from ice and diamond to a ghost. Ghost has no demand, so some might even say this is AL since ice has decently high demand. After some time, I got the trade I was looking for, which was a spider and love for Phoenix. Phoenix is a decent legendary and a good upgrade for these 2 legendaries that I'm trading. Got this W, light and ice have high demand, so they will be easy to upgrade into legendaries. This said it was equal, but I searched for like days and couldn't find a single good trade, so I just decided to cheat a little and trade myself a portal. Basically portal is really good for movement and PvP, so it has high value and high demand. Portal also basically has equal value to Buddha. After like 30 minutes I finally got Buddha with portal. Now I can finally eat Buddha and start grinding. Also, before I start grinding I wanted to make it easier by gifting myself some game passes. I decided on X2 money, mastery and boss drops. Those 3 game passes I just listed have the highest value for how cheap they are in the Robux shop, so if you have any extra Robux they're a good idea. Now it's time to enter a code for double experience and start grinding. I grinded the Swan Pirates until Green Zone because they spawn so close to each other and are way easier to grind than the Factory Pirates. I decided to switch fighting styles because I reached enough mastery on Dark Step to buy Superhuman, which is 300. I also pre-bought Water Kung Fu for when I reach 300 mastery on Electric. I also finally reached full body aura, which decreases all damage taken by around 30%. I can also now do Bartolio's quest now that I'm high enough level. I need to kill 50 Swan Pirates first. I entered a code at 49 pirates killed to get the most value, saving a few double experience minutes. Now I need to kill Bellamy, the spring user. All of this was super easy with Buddha and its insane range. It's still unfinished, but I decided to level up a little because I don't need to do the last part of the quest right now. Normally you would do it at my level for race V2, but I decided to get close to max level before getting race V2 or V3. Now I'm gonna go do the last part, which is freeing the Colosseum prisoners. Doing Bartolio's quest right now will help a lot in the future for things like race V2 and 3rd C. With Bartolio's quest done, it was now time to start leveling up again. Forgot to record footage, but I equipped Water Kung Fu after reaching 300 mastery on Electric, as you can see here. Went back to Death Step again to go for 400 mastery requirement for Godhuman after I reached 300 mastery on Water Kung Fu. Shortly after I reached 400 mastery on Dark Step I went back to Water Kung Fu. It was now time for me to go to Ice Castle now that I'm level 1350. I got the library key from the Awakened Ice Admiral. This is useful because it lets you unlock Death Step. Although I don't have enough fragments right now, I was rolling a fruit to try and give to Trevor to access the Don Swan room, and I got lucky. Got Phoenix. I went to the last island at level 1425 and grinded to 1500, the minimum level requirement for 3rd sea. I also killed the Tidekeeper for the water key, which if you give to Daedrock you can get Sharkman Karate. In this clip I also got lucky and got the Dragon Trident drop. Again, not enough fragments yet. I then gave the Phoenix I rolled to Trevor and got access to Don Swan, which if I kill I can go to the 3rd sea. Don Swan not only gives access to 3rd sea, but you also have to kill him for race V3. Not only that, he dropped one of the best accessories in the 2nd sea, and I'll be using that accessory for grinding in the 3rd sea. Basically my point is killing him is really important. After killing it a few more times I got Swan Glasses drop. Now it was finally time for me to go to the 3rd sea. Now I need to talk to the captain at Green Zone and I can go to the 3rd sea. My first destination in the 3rd sea would be the castle on the sea, specifically because that's where you do raids for awakenings. My first goal now that I'm in the 3rd sea is to awaken my Buddha Fruit. Awakened Buddha Fruit gives more defense and has better range, so it will be more effective for grinding and leveling up. Usually it would be hard for me to solo this raid, but no self-blaze on Lokia Goat at raids, so I'm gonna try and solo a Buddha raid. I got through islands 1 to 4 pretty easily, but the hardest part is the Finally Island, which have the boss and a million NPCs that spawns. So basically my strategy for soloing this Buddha raid was don't get close to the boss and kill all the NPCs first, because the NPCs were the annoying part. Try and avoid the impact attacks by staying at distance and carefully get in hits. Here I lured the boss into the water and got easy kills on the NPCs. Avoid the big boy attacks the boss does by flash stepping or instantly running away. When you get low, run towards the 4th island and region if you have time. Just like that I killed all the NPCs and carefully hit the boss. And this happened. Now I could solo all the normal raids, so I did some raids for frags to buy the Dragon Breath fighting style. And just like that I reached 300 mastery on Dragon Breath while leveling up. That also means I reached 300 mastery on every V1 fighting style, so I could now get Superhuman. So basically you might be wondering why I'm still at Port Town level 1753. It's because I skipped Hydra and Great Tree and sat at this island for 250 levels. Anyways, I reached 400 mastery on Superhuman, so I switched back to Electric. After 275 levels I reached 1775, so I finally switched to grinding a floating turtle. I did a few raids with Superhuman for 5,000 fragments to buy Electric Claw after reaching 400 mastery on Electric. But first, I had to get to the mansion in 30 seconds. It's probably pretty repetitive hearing mastery at this point, so just go quick, but as you can see here I got 400 mastery on Electric Claw, also 400 on Dragon Breath. Then I got lazy to get frags, so I just grinded Superhuman for the rest of the levels. Final island until max level. 600 mastery on Superhuman. I've gotten really close to max level, so I decided to stop grinding here. I'm probably gonna get the rest of the levels from things like sea beasts and raid bosses. So I'm gonna do some explaining for what I'm gonna do next in this challenge. My plan from now on is gonna be grinding elite pirates for a couple reasons. You need 30 elite or player hunter quests for Yama, one of the swords for CDK. Getting God's Chalice from elites also means I can kill Rip Indra for a whole bunch of reasons that I won't get into. I also need another God's Chalice for Sweet Chalice to kill Dokane for his mirror fractal drop, which is required to do the V4 quest. Most of the grinding of the elite pirates is off camera, so I'm doing them in the background of all the things going on. Anyways, something crazy happened on my first elite pirate. On the first try, I got a God's Chalice. I got someone off of Discord that had the colors required to spawn Indra. After a few minutes we easily killed him with 2 awakened Buddhas. Found a legendary hockey color but I didn't have frags. Shortly after my luck made up from a fruit roll. After that I did a raid so I could re-roll my race and get something better than human because I didn't want to awaken human v4. And I actually did get angel, which is better. I did the quest for race v2 and v3 right after I got angel. I found 3 flowers for the race v2 quest. Then I gave the 3 flowers to Alchemist and he gave me Angel V2 for $500,000. I then went to the doghouse to get my quest for V3. The quest for Angel V3 is to kill another angel. The guy that helped me with Indra earlier let me kill him. I went back to doghouse and bought Angel V3 for $2 million. Angel V3's Heavenly Blood heals about 20% of your max health and gives a small 15% defensive boost. Next, I'm gonna be rolling my bones for a fire essence to obtain the Dragon Talon fighting style. I then gave the fire essence to Uza, but I had no fragments. The next day I logged on to roll a fruit and I got this. I did a couple of raids for frags that I needed for Sharkman Karate. I then got the Sharkman Karate I couldn't afford because of fragments, just like everything else in this game that needs fragments. I started grinding mastery on Sharkman Karate by killing some elite pirates. So now that I've killed Indra, the first can start the quest for race v4. I then got 400 mastery on Sharkman Karate. The next item I obtained was Soul Skull Guitar. First I had to pray at full moon. Then I needed to kill 6 living zombies at the same exact time. Signs then appear at the graveyards and you need to point them towards the side with more graves. Or just follow the image on screen, from Wiki. Then talk to the ghost NPC. Basically in the next step you need to memorize these trophies and change the lines into how the trophies are. The trophies are different for everyone. Now I could craft Soul Guitar, but I had no fragments. After doing a couple elite pirates I got enough frags for Dragon Talon. I was rolling for 0 reason and I accidentally got a Hallow Essence. So I killed Soul Reaper because why not? Didn't get nothing much, but I got Pale Scarf, which is nice. Then I forgot about this account for 8 months. So I came back almost January of 2025. After randomly discovering this account on my login page, I decided it was only right to finish this video, so here I am. So first thing I did was get 400 mastery on Dragon Talon, while killing enough NPCs to spawn the Dough King for a mirror fractal. I was also doing elites on the side for a God's Chalice to craft into a sweet chalice. When I got 400 mastery on Dragon Talon I switched to Sharkman Karate. After like 8 elites I finally got God's Chalice. I used Sharkman Karate to do raids to get enough fragments to buy Death Step. Death Step was the last fighting style I needed to get to 400 mastery until I could get Godhuman. Anyways, I'll get back to Dough King now. All the fighting style stuff was in the middle of doing Dough King. I then traded my God's Chalice and 10 conjured cocoa for a sweet chalice. Killing NPCs to spawn Dough King also helped me get some mastery on Death Step. I got lucky here and also got spiky trident drop on top of everything else. Anyways, if you didn't know already, you need the mirror fractal that only drops from Dough King for part of V4, so that's why I spent like 4 hours to kill one boss. I was waiting for presents and I got lucky. This was my last elite pirate quest until 30 for Yama sword. The Yama sword is one of the swords you need for cursed dual katana, which is one of the things I wanted to get on this video. Once you reach 30 elite pirates, you go in the waterfall in Hydra and click the sword until you get it. Now that I have Yama, next I'm gonna obtain materials for the soul guitar. Soul guitar needs a dark fragment, so I paid someone from Discord a portal to spawn Darkbeard, which drops the dark fragment. Soul guitar also needs a lot of ectoplasm, so I grinded ectoplasm for a while. I got the ruler of night title, which I am pretty sure is when you hold 250 ectoplasm at once. Rolled a portal few hours later. This will be really helpful for paying for things like dark fragments later in the vid. I went to Sea of Treats to finish the 400 mastery for my death step so I could finally get Godhuman. Then I farmed materials for Godhuman, including dragon scales and fishtails. Dragon scales drop most commonly from the dragon archers, and fishtails drop from the NPCs at Underwater City in the first sea. Of course, you also need fragments for Godhuman, so I did a ton of raids. I was in the second sea doing random stuff, and I got no footage, but I got Fist of Darkness from a chest, so I went and killed Darkbeard for his dark fragment that I'll need for Saguine art later. Also got 1500 fragments, which is really nice. And then with all the frags and materials I could finally get Godhuman. I grinded 350 mastery for Godhuman to unlock all its moves. After getting mastery on Godhuman, I also got some mastery on Yama to 300. I also haven't gotten any mastery on Skull Guitar, so I decided to go gun stats to get the moves for Skull Guitar. So I was in this server with people about to spawn Indra, so I thought I could get Tushita and went to wait at the ghost room. Tushita is one of the swords you need for cursed dual katana, so I'll definitely need it later too. In the first step of the Tushita puzzle, you need to have Indra spawn. Then you need to go in the second right waterfall. After that, you have 5 minutes to locate these torches in order. Lastly, you go into Longma's hideout and defeat him for Tushita sword. I got Tushita mastery to 350 mastery, which is the required amount for cursed dual katana. This means that the same amount is required for the Yama sword, so I got them both to 350 mastery to start the cursed dual katana puzzle. I unlocked both of the Tushita moves as well, so here's a showcase. Now I can start the CDK puzzle. First trial is Dock Legend, which you have to go to 3 different islands boat dealers and activate a special dialogue. That was one of the easy trials. The second trial is killing at least 1 NPC in a pirate raid, which is also pretty easy. I did the 4th or first Yama trial before doing the 3rd one for Tushita because it's like the easiest one. You literally just have to take damage until you're almost dead a few times. Anyways, the 4th trials involves killing Cake Queen within 2 minutes, so I waited for her to spawn and did that. Then you get teleported into heaven or something and you kill some skeletons. The second Yama trial or 5th trial is arguably the hardest one and definitely the most time consuming. Basically, you kill like almost every NPC in 3rd sea except your whole vision is fogged. Yeah, so basically I got a aura color to make my character look a little cleaner. Back to the last trial. Fear the Reaper. I paid a Buddha for someone from Discord to spawn it. Basically, you just need to die to Soul Reaper and kill some skeletons again. Once you have all the a la carte fragments, you burst both Yama and Tushita scrolls. Then this diamond appears and fits into a goddamn circle. Kill the skeleton boss and boom, you have cursed dual katana. Anyways, here's a cursed Dual Katana showcase. So the first thing you need to do to get race V4 is to kill Rip Indra, but I obviously already did that, so I need to find Mirage Island now, specifically when it's nighttime. Mirage Island is really hard to find, but I got lucky and found it after 20 minutes of searching in extreme danger. I found it during daytime though and had to wait until the sun went down. In the meantime, I checked this terrible fruit stock and went around collecting some chests. I'll take this time to explain some things. So basically, once it's nighttime, you stare at the moon with your V3 ability for whatever race you have activated, and after a few seconds a message will pop up. After the message pops up, run around and you need to find this blue gear before Mirage or nighttime disappears. Now that I have the blue gear, I need to go upgrade tree and do trials to finally awaken V4. So if you don't have V4 yet or don't know, you have to fight a 1v1v1 at the end of trials and have to win to obtain or upgrade your V4. Anyways, I just spammed Buddha and I got pretty lucky for my first trial. After you win, follow the little blue orb thingy to the clock. Every race's first trial is all the same, as the clock makes you select the first option, which is always ancient powers, buffing all your stats to max. Anyways, you need to train or activate V4 a few times before moving on to the next trial and gear. While training, I also got mastery on Spiky Trident. Here's Angel V4 transformation if you haven't seen it already. For the first to second trial, you need to activate V4 3 times or stay 3 minutes in V4. Once I got that done, I went to go get my upgrade from the red orb below the clock. I rolled Angel earlier in the vid, and Angel is one of the best V4s for PvP and overall. The reason is because of its flying ability that travels like as fast as a miracle boat, allowing you to basically fly away anywhere. It also has very decent healing and an aura type thing that is annoying for whoever you're fighting. Anyways, I paid someone from Discord a portal for my third trial. What I'm getting now, King's Rule, is the aura thing I was yapping about. Alright, so before I fully max out V4, I'm gonna get Instinct V2 first. Basically, you just need to dodge 5,000 times with Instinct V1 and do the Citizen's Quest to access the quest for Instinct V2 from Hungry Man. First, I checked how many dodges I had from the person you buy Instinct from. Once you finish that gruesome dodging, you have to go to Citizen and do his quest. Honestly, I should have already done this when I was like level 1800 to 1900. The first part of the quest requires you to kill 50 forest pirates. Next, Citizen wants you to kill Captain Elephant. I waited around 20 minutes for him to spawn in a private server. Last part of the quest, you just need to collect this treasure directly in front of Mansion. Break it with a physics move. Now it's time to finally start the Hungry Man quest. So basically you need to collect these 3 fruits located at Port Town, Great Tree, and a hill on Floating Turtle. Before you give the 3 fruits, you need to talk to Citizen again and have them make them into a bowl. This cannot be possible if you didn't do the quest, so that's why. By the way, you need $5 million to buy it. Anyway, so basically what Instinct V2 does is it makes the vision much clearer when you're in Instinct and also regenerates dodges faster. It also lets you see other players' levels, fruits, guns, swords, and what they're holding. Back to Angel V4. Right now I'm on the 3rd gear and I need to do these 3 training sessions before I go on to my last gear. I only had enough frags for the first upgrade, so I had to do some raids. Can't forget training either. Now I can finally do the last trial. I chose to upgrade Prince of the Skies and make it tier 2 to get a big upgrade while flying with the ability. So now that you've seen me max V4 out, I'm gonna be going for sea events related stuff next. Basically stuff like the Shipwright subclass, Kitsune Shrine, Leviathan, etc. In this clip I'm checking how many sharks I have to kill to get the shipwright subclass. The shipwright subclass is unlocked when you kill 50 sea events and then do the quest to kill 20 sharks. It lets you repair boats for HP and max HP when you max it out. You also get a legendary scroll for completing the quest, which I'm gonna use on my cursed dual katana. However, I can't enchant it yet because it's not upgraded. You need mini tusks, demonic wisps, and scrap metal. I already have everything except mini tusks, so I grinded that until I got enough. Enchant was pretty bad, but I'll definitely enchant it again later. Next thing I'm gonna be going for are Kitsune shrine items, specifically Fox Lamp and Kitsune Ribbon. Once the sun went down halfway I set sail for danger zone, as you get only around 10 seconds to spawn the Kitsune shrine once it's full moon. What you do for Kitsune shrine is go around and collect these little flames called Azure Embers and then trade them in for a reward. The max amount you can trade is 25 for the best rewards. Well, of course I'm gonna get some mastery on it. Anyways, here's a Fox Lamp showcase. I got Kitsune Ribbon. So you know I can get shipwright, but I don't have it yet because I don't got enough frags, so I did some raids. I'll be upgrading this subclass to max it out later. I got shipwright, max V4, Kitsune shrine items. The most important thing left I have to do is of course Leviathan. So yeah, here's what happened. If you don't know what Leviathan is, it's basically an important boss that you have to kill in order to get the most important items such as Saguine arts and scrolls. The first step to killing him is to bribe the spy NPC on top of Tiki Outpost until he says this dialogue. So first there was trouble because of terrors and people dying. We set out again for the second time. Then we entered the zone. And on the second try, after a few minutes. Next up is Yay! Here's the part that killing Blackbeard earlier will be really helpful because I can save a bunch of time and a valuable fruit that I would have otherwise used to pay for Darkbeard. Anyways, I paid a portal for Darkbeard for the 2 dark fragments that I need for Saguine. I got dark code drop from killing Darkbeard, which is really rare but not as good as it is rare. I now have all the materials to craft Saguine arts now. I now have every fighting style in the entire game. All that's left is to get mastery on Saguine art. Here's a Saguine art showcase. So you might have saw I had only 575 mastery on cursed dual katana in the last clip, and in this clip I just reached max. That was because I did off-camera grinding and did all the extra upgrades for V4, in preparation to start the PvP segment. And yeah, this was my 4/5 upgrade for max V4. After another few hours of off-camera grinding, I got a bunch of fool's gold, but you'll see what I would use it for later, and I also got close to maxing out shipwright. The fool's gold was for scrolls. If you didn't know, you had to craft 10 of the previous scroll to craft better scrolls. So I had to craft 10 rare scrolls in order to craft a legendary scroll. Enough about scrolls. One grinded a little bit for dragon scales to upgrade my dragon trident, as it is one of the swords I will use for PvP on top of cursed dual katana. I enchanted it right after that. Pretty decent enchant, mostly because of agility 3. Back to sea events to max out my shipwright and my mission to craft a legendary scroll. When I was doing sea events in the question mark zone, I accidentally spawned Kitsune Shrine. Anyways, I'll just cut to what I got. Yeah, you saw that I got Fox Lamp, Kitsune Ribbon and Kitsune Mask all in a row in that order. Back to scrolls, I crafted 3 more rare ones. I continued doing sea events until I maxed shipwright. After maxing shipwright, I got enough fool's gold to craft a legendary scroll. I used it to reroll my cursed dual katana enchant. Masterpiece is pretty good, so it's a little better than the last enchant. With all the sea events now done, I finally maxed out my V4. Alright, so I basically finished the game already, but there's one more important thing I want to experience before I end this video, and that thing is PvP. I don't call it bounty hunting because I'm not gonna go around killing randoms, and instead only killing people who want to fight back. I decided that I will PvP until 3 million bounty, and I'll be using the portal fruit for that. I have 0 mastery on portal, so you know what time it is. The 300 mastery move pulls you into another dimension, so it's great for fighting teamers. I refunded my stats back to put stats into sword. You might ask why not Blox Fruits? Well, it's because portal is used primarily for movement and combo extensions, rather than it being a high damage fruit. I also switched back to Godhuman. Alright, so first the rules for this PvP segment. Like I said, I'm not allowed to just kill innocent random players, but instead I have to gain bounty only from fights. Also, I can use whatever I want to win, including spamming portal V and V4, because what do you think I got all that for? Anyways, yeah, enjoy.
Yeah, boy.
So yeah, kit was on stock, so I'm gonna bounty hunt with it for the last couple 100,000 bounty. Of course I didn't have frags for the stats refund, so I had to pay someone to do raids. But after one raid he scammed me and left the game. Don't trust this guy if you see him, and I'm finna leak all his stuff because I'm mad. I just did the raids for myself on my main account after.
Enemy spotted.
If you enjoyed, I'd kindly ask for a subscription and like. Comment some video ideas down below, I read every comment. Other than that, thank you so much for watching until the end.